What's up, guys? Just wanted to do a quick little rundown. Came out here to see if there's anything I could do because it's nighttime, but it's still very hot and humid, and the air is just wet. Like, I've only been standing out here for maybe 5 minutes, and I'm like wet head to my legs basically. So it's very humid out, but that's just because it got done raining and we're in the middle of summer. So it's probably in the high 80s right now, even though it's, very late. So I just wanted to look at the car. It was raining earlier today, so I didn't come out. Like, it was storming really bad, and then all that precipitation, and I thought it'd be better by now. It's like 9 o'clock at night, but it's not much better. Let me show y'all what I did. It's not a lot. Get a light on in here. So it's up on jack stands in the rear now, which is what I have been needing to do for the past like 2 weeks. I was considering either jack stands or wheel dollies because the car is still, it's pointing in. It's not flat up against the wall, it's at an angle. And so it takes up this spot a little bit. So I was debating on whether or not jack stands or wheel dollies, but I decided to go with the jack stands because I need to get the car up in the air to make progress more so than I need to just move the car. Because what I mostly need to do to the car right now involves lifting it up. It also involves utilizing a jack independently while the car's being up. So, got jack stands. What am I going to do? So, figured I got to get the diff in. It's not really a problem. I have the hardware, but a couple things. Number one, this diff was welded by a friend of mine. He took it up to Carolina with him and said he'd weld it for me because he had this professional welder, though I think he might have just been busy or something because I don't think he was able to weld as much as he'd like, or maybe he didn't have any material. Ultimately, it's not looking like these welds are gonna hold. Can't even really see them. They're there, but you can barely see them. It's no problem. I have a welder buried under all that stuff. It just needs some more wire. So I gotta weld it. First I'm gonna clean it. So I gotta get some brake cleaner, spray it off. I might light it on fire just to burn it all. Get rid of all this gasket. Clean up the cover, which is right there. And then throw it on. And so I have all the hardware in this little bag. We got these are the mountain ones to mount it. I only have one of these. I should have another one somewhere. Should have to find it. And then these are for the diff cover. 8 bolts, 8 holes. I'm gonna put that somewhere else later. And yeah, this is actually my what is it? The swap mounts for the V8. And I have some other stuff. I have my angle mods, not angle mods, my adjustable suspension is in the house. I still have to put that on. I still have to get the rear brake situated because I had rotors and I don't know what happened to them. I know I have calipers, but I don't think I have rotors. I might have to buy rotors. So that's why the car needs to be lifted up. I don't really need anything in the front. I do want to, like I said, clean the whole car, and that involves like redoing an undercoat. I already did an undercoat once. It wasn't a good job. I didn't actually prep it. I just sprayed clear coat under the car because I thought it was going to rust, and it was actually somewhere where it would never rust, so it's actually not that big of a deal. But yeah, so it's a little late, 9 o'clock. Everything's already closed, so I can't really go out and get anything. Could have gone today, but stuff happens. It was literally pouring, and so like can't really go out. I could. I just didn't want to get soaked. So excuses, I know. I keep on saying I'm gonna put work into this car and I never do. it's just, I don't know, it's weird because I have the BRZ and like I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm not doing a lot of stuff, but I have a lot of plans to that car. So part of me is like, I don't even want to worry about the 240. But I do want to worry about the 240. I need to make progress on the car. It's been here for almost a month now. And the most I've done is I've boxed up all the interior, taken all the interior out. Kind of half organized. I could do a better job, definitely. Organized and everything. I mean, all the stuff that's sitting outside the car is sitting outside because it's going to go back in eventually. So I just didn't want to take it out. But yeah, that's just kind of small little update. Nothing huge, but the diff is next. The diff is going to go in next. I need one more diff bolt, which I should be able to find somewhere. If not, I'm sure I can get the hardware online. Then I'm going to lift the diff up. That's why I need the jack to be free. I think it's just 2 holes that are mounted to mount it. I don't think it's 4. I think it's just 2. I don't know. Diff's in. I'm not even gonna worry about filling it up with fluid. At first, I might. After a while, because I know if it just sits with no fluid in it, it could start to like rust and not be clean. So I might throw some fluid in it. And then I'll lower the car back to the ground. And then I'll finish the brakes up front, because I got to get the brake lines anyway. Put the master cylinder in, because I got to get the master cylinder in. Clean the whole car. Might paint the whole car since it's just so bare bones right now. There's literally nothing in it, like interior wise or exterior. So like it's very in a bare bones state. So I might redo the paint. Just one uniform color, because like one side is a slightly darker black than the other. Like one's more gloss and the other's more matte. Like I think the driver side is a matte and the passenger side's like a gloss. It's very weird, but I didn't have the same paint when I did it. I did one side at one point, and then I did the other side like 2 years later. So I wasn't really consistent with the paint job. I don't know, it's the time of the year that it's so hot. You guys can probably see like I'm sweating right now. It's like probably 80, 90 degrees. I haven't been running, I haven't been doing anything, I haven't lifted anything. It's just that hot in Florida. It's one of the reasons why when I get my own house, get in a garage, because you need it. At least if you work on cars. Like in Florida, if you work on cars or do anything on cars, you need a garage. You need a closed garage. I mean, for one, you got expensive parts. I mean, no one's taking any of my stuff, but a lot of it, most people would look at and they probably wouldn't know what it is. 90% of my valuable stuff I just threw inside the house, but a garage would be nice to have it already in there. Back with what I was saying. Brakes need to get done. I'll probably put that suspension arms and stuff in, because I might as well. I have it. Paint the car. Oh, what I was saying earlier is I don't know if it's a good or bad time to paint the car. I don't know if I should wait till winter. I kind of want to do it now. It's just it's so hot outside. I don't know if that would be better or worse. I don't really have anything to keep stuff from getting on the car when the paint dries. That's the thing. It's not an insulated environment. I could hang tarps up. You know, I could like get some staples and staple some like sheets down. But I really don't want to do that. So yeah, it's just kind of a little rough estimate of the plan. It's literally get the rear end done, because once that diff is in, that's basically most of the rear end done. Because like I was saying earlier, the way I did this project was very bad, at least for me. Some people don't care. Some people will start with one end, get to a certain point, and then the other. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I just think for me personally, I need to get something done, at least to 100% completion in my head, and then I can go on something else. So like, and even then, that's not going to really happen, probably, because even if I get the diff in, the brakes aren't going to be done, unless I can find some rotors for cheap. Maybe on Marketplace. I'm not going to have the rotors in. I have the calipers. They need to be hooked up, but don't have the rotors. And honestly, I think I might just run Z32s in the front. I mean, the front brakes are really what matters. Rear brakes, I mean, it's important that you have good rear brakes, especially if you want to use handbrake. It depends. Maybe there'll be like a sale on GK Tech or something like that, and maybe if they have the rear brake kit for not that much, I'll get it, but we'll see. I just need brakes all around. My first 240 only had front brakes, which is fine, but the car was just a KA. This is going to be a V8, so it needs to have, I would prefer all brakes. And yeah, it just kind of sucks because I don't have anyone to talk to, and that truly is something that I think is hard. I know a lot of people can do it. A lot of people can just be by themselves and work on the cars. Some prefer it. I would say with me, it's a mixed bag. There's a lot of shit happening in my life. A lot of stuff that I wish wasn't going on, but it is. A lot of drama, personal stuff. Just the environment I'm living in. It's like already stressful, like just to live normally. And then you add the car complications. And I'm not trying to, woe me or anything. I'm just saying, when I sat down and thought about it, that's kind of what was really making this whole project really stink. It really sucks, because, like, I want to work on it, and I just can't, because, like, I don't have that motivation. It's not there. It's just, like, regular living situation sucks so much that I, like, any little bit of extra stuff to deal with, which includes the 240, it just makes me not want to touch it. But I have to make progress with this car, because as I was saying in the video when I first came back over here with the car, when we brought the 240 here, I have a limited time to get stuff done. If that doesn't get done, 240 has to go. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have to make progress, or this thing has to go. And here's the thing, even if it does have to go, it's not in a place to where I'm going to get a lot for it. Sure, it comes with a T5 transmission and a V8 and an S14 powder coated subframe and C32 front brakes and a million other small things that I've done to this car, and a perfectly straight body. There's not one kink on this car. The worst things that look the worst on this car, on the back driver's side, like in the very back, like literally 3 inches worth, maybe only 2 inches worth of the pinch welds are just like gone, and the rest is fine. I know, like, you could see that where the jack stand is, and you're like, oh, well, that's what I'm talking about. No, just behind the jack stands where he just came out of, those pinch welds, those are bad. That's why I put it up there. And even then, you could probably still rest something on it, because I think it's just surface rust. Literally, this car is a straight body. It is the cleanest 240 I have yet to see. Like, when it comes to undercarriage, quarter panels, very clean. With all that being said, I wouldn't get a lot of money for it. I think if I if I gave someone everything, literally the 2 bins of interior, all of the suspension stuff, the CA18 and K24 parts I have, the turbo stuff I have, I probably wouldn't get more than $5,000, just because it's not together. And that's all stuff I want to sell individually. I want to downsize. Like, I'm definitely not going to be going KA, and even if I was going KA, I don't think I want to even run a T5. So, like, I'm going to sell all my turbo stuff, my turbo manifold, my turbo itself. Someone can buy that off of me if they want to make, like, I don't know, like, they're okay with a comfortable 250 horsepower. You ain't going to be hitting 300 on the T5. Like, you can maybe hit 270. Like, it's like, if you get a good tune, you can maybe hit that much. But 250 is like max, but that thing will push comfortably. And then you'll just need to upgrade the turbo, because it's just going to run out of efficiency. And yeah, and I'm probably going to sell my interior, because I don't know if I want interior in this car. I just want carpet, headliner, all the front stuff, and then everything in the back I'm eventually wanting to get caged. There's just, I don't know, this car is not, like I said, it's a straight body, it's clean. But like, you know, the sunroof and all the other stuff, like there's just so many things about this car that just doesn't make sense for, it'll never be the same as it once was, you know. I can make it clean, definitely, but the interior is gonna weigh it down. And if this car turns into something I actually want it to be, which is like, I want to eventually kind of compete on a grassroots level with it, it doesn't make sense having an interior. Yeah, kind of my little rant. Like I said, I don't have the money to get a couple things I need. I need the T56 transmission. That's gonna be $2,000 right there. Don't have $2,000. I have to save for that, you know. And yeah, I just dropped like $800 on a radar detector for the daily, but that's just because, you know, I got pulled over literally within the first week of driving that thing. I know it's stupid. I was literally going the same speed as everyone else, but I think it's just because I was in a slightly sportier car. And that thing has saved me multiple times, like on the highway. I think within the third day of having it installed, it saved me. So I think that's a good purchase. Did I have to buy like the best one on the market? No, but I wanted it. And so yeah, I'm kind of spending money in places. It's gonna make it to where this is harder to finish, but I also have a lot of stuff I can sell. Between the turbo stuff, the interior, and just some miscellaneous parts that I don't want, like the CA and KA parts, all that stuff alone, if I can sell all that stuff, I can, and maybe the seats, because if I do get a cage, I'll need different seats anyways. All that stuff alone should be able to fund the transmission, because, you know, the header, the turbo headers, like that's like $400. Turbo's like $200. Seats are about $250. That's about $800 right there. The CA and KA parts, I have to sort it, but if I had to guess, the CA and KA parts are going to be roughly $400 to $500 for everything, and then individually it might be a little less. But if someone just wants a whole freaking box of CA and KA parts, probably could sell it all for like maybe $300. $400 or $500 might be a little high. It's mostly just extra valve covers, some gaskets, some stuff that's a little harder to get. I have a compressor, like that's like what, $50 probably for whoever wants a compressor. So, you know, add that extra like 200, that's about 1,000, maybe just over 1,000. And then the interior is where the real money is. That's going to be shit. That interior alone, like everything together, all of that plastic trim and the seats, the rear seats, that's going to be almost another $800 right there. So, like I said, all of that shit alone could fund the transmission. And then it's just the wiring, which I'll just have to save up for. That's going to be another roughly $1,700 to $2,000. But the transmission's the big one. That's the big thing I got to get. And the wiring, because it's still 50-50. With the wiring, I could still, if I really wanted to, get an old truck harness and make it work. It would just, wouldn't be as nice, you know. I wouldn't have like my cluster right away. I'd have to like finagle something and learn a lot about wiring. But yeah, that's kind of the plan right now. Like I said, it's slow work right now, just like I said, because of everything in life. And then like, it's hot. I'm sweating so bad. I did a couple things. Like I said, not a lot. Gotta get the diff stuff. So diff will be next. That's like next on the agenda. But yeah.